The following announcement has been paid for by
the ENN Podcast.
He has a good energy, you guys.
Can you feel
Sport.
that excitement?
And also,
The merchandise, wearing the hats.
Is what I'm seeing for real?
Chris Wild here live from Lincoln Financial. Yeah.
I can't wait till this video's over so I can say its name anymore.
Music.
Wow.
Man, again, and I hate to do this again, but these are goofy.
What the hell? What is this? Whoa. What the hell?
And more.
What's his next book going to be called? Got you cocksucker. I did not see that coming.
Oh my God, are we back? Are we back? How long has it been since me, the heart killer Chris Wild, has done a live stream here on YouTube Live? Obviously streaming with Melon now instead of StreamYard. And actually, to be honest with you, I feel like this is the first time all football season where I've maybe had a free hour or 30 minutes to myself. It has been absolutely crazy for me personally. Not just professionally, because professional wrestling has amped up for me this year. Obviously, with COVID-19 far in the rearview mirror, and the pandemic far in the rearview mirror, things have definitely spiced up for me. You might have seen me on AEW TV. You might have seen me on Monday Night Raw lately, and as we speak, Raw 30 in Philadelphia is going on right now. I don't like watching with commercials, so I'm going to save it and fast forward through those commercials, which is why I'm doing this with you guys right now. I would normally be watching Raw, if not at Raw, or doing something wrestling related right now. But here we are in the Philadelphia Eagles. What a season it has been. We're talking a 14-win season for this Eagles team. We're talking Jalen Hurts taking that leap that nobody thought that he could, except for maybe a handful of diehard fans like myself. I mean, I remember talking earlier, and I'll admit I was one of the guys earlier this year that was like, maybe if they can get Deshaun Watson, maybe you go that route. Or, man, Russell Wilson, former MVP, guy that's won a Super Bowl, he would look good here. At the same time, not discounting Jalen Hurts. And I wasn't one of those guys that was like, Jalen sucks and he's never going to get any better, and he sucked in college and he sucks now and he's never going to get any better and they're not going to win. I wasn't one of those guys. I was just one of the guys that said, well, maybe if you can get a former NFL MVP on this team, former Super Bowl winner, or a guy like in Deshaun Watson that people looked at as a top 3 quarterback in this league, man, how times have changed. It would be something that the Eagles should look into, and thank goodness they didn't. I mean, you look at Russell Wilson, what he turned into, pretty much a parody of himself. And the Denver Broncos, man, they gave up a lot for him. You look at Deshaun Watson. I mean, you don't want to creep like that on your team, and he didn't look that great in the few games that he did play this year. The Philadelphia Eagles, without a doubt, by believing in Jalen Hurts, by sticking with Jalen Hurts, by putting guys like A.J. Brown around him. And really, A.J., I believe, is the only real big piece that they added this year. I mean, they had Devontae last year. They had Dallas last year. They had Miles last year, and Kenny Gainwell. So they had that nucleus. I'll be able to speak at some point during this live stream, I promise. They had that nucleus already there, and it was just they needed a guy like A.J. Brown to go over the top. They absolutely restructured this defense roster-wise, getting a big guy in the draft like Jordan Davis, signing guys like Kazir White, like James Bradbury, Javon Hargrave having a great year. And then when they noticed that they couldn't stop the run, getting vets like Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh, guys that are, especially in Ndamukong Suh's case, guys that are part of winning franchises, winning programs, bringing them into this team. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who I think is one of the most important parts of this defense. He gives it a whole character. He gives this defense character. He's elusive. He leads the league in interceptions, or he's tied. And he missed 3 or 4 games. Bringing him in was unbelievable. And yeah, Russ, right off the bat, the disrespect for not only Hurts, but the team as well is disgraceful. And that's what I wanted to talk about right now. I don't really want to preview the Eagles and the Niners. There's a lot of time to do that. But just the disrespect that this team got was insane. And I gotta admit, you know, in taking some time off from the channel because of wrestling, just not being able to do as much as I did last year. After that Chicago game, when the Eagles locked up the playoffs and Jalen got hurt, they kind of took their foot off the gas. And it was like, you know, I watched the Dallas game with Minshew in. It was cute how they almost beat Dallas. And then you think they're going to get a game against the Saints. You could tell the players were completely disinterested in that game. Josh Sweat goes out on a cart, and it just snowballs from there. And then that Giants game in Week 18, Hurts comes back because they need to win, and it was the most vanilla game plan I've ever seen. I mean, I was there live with my father. It was like the same 5 or 6 plays over and over on both offense and defense. They still win by a big margin. Even though the Giants kind of came back towards the end, and everybody acted like the Philadelphia Eagles were this afterthought. Like those 14 wins was nothing. Like Jalen Hurts was not going to be the same guy. And it's crazy because I look at these guys out in the media. They're pretty much doing the same thing I'm doing right now with better equipment. And they're making so much money to be so wrong. And it's not like, hey, I think the Giants are going to win. No, it's like, it's to the extreme. The New York Giants are eerily similar to the 2007 Super Bowl team. Daniel Jones is teetering on elite status. Like, what the hell is going on? And in the meantime, not talking about the Eagles at all. Not looking at that game Week 18 and going, and they played vanilla. They knew they might face the Giants again, so they didn't show anything. They didn't want to get anybody hurt. Or look at the Saints game and go, yeah, kind of team didn't really get up for that. Or look at the Dallas game and go, hey, even with Gardner Minshew and 4 turnovers, they were only 6 points away from winning. None of that from anyone, even local guys, man. Local guys on WIP were sitting there and I'm listening after the Giants beat Minnesota, and the whole week was, I don't know, we should be scared of the Giants. I don't know. Hurts has got to play like an MVP for them to win, and I don't think he can do it. I mean, that injury. You had guys like Tiki Barber, who's a former player in the NFL, a former Giants running back. I don't even know if he was on the Super Bowl teams that they won or not. In the comments, let me know. He turned from like analyst to Giants fanboy. It was ridiculous. I mean, talking about how Daniel Jones is so much better than Jalen Hurts, and the Eagles are not the team they were, and the Giants were going to win, and they were going to win big. It absolutely blew my mind, and that's part of the reason why I got to get on this live stream. I did a video, check it out. It's right below this one. Instant reaction type after the game. It wasn't live, and I watched it, and I was like, man, I really can't convey how not mad or upset, but just like, it's just unreal to me, like the disrespect this team has gotten. And now it's flipped. You're going to hear a lot of things this week. You're going to hear a lot of guys talking good about Jalen. You're going to hear a lot of guys talking good about the Eagles all of a sudden. And look, the Eagles know exactly what's going on. This team all year long has been disrespected, said they couldn't do it, said they wouldn't be here. The Cowboys were Super Bowl favorites the entire year. And I just want to get this right off the bat. I just want to say this right away. I could give a shit less that the Cowboys lost. I don't care. I thought it would have been cool to have Dallas Philly 3, because I thought that if the Eagles faced the Cowboys, it could have been a blowout for the Eagles. This game against the 49ers, and I'm not really here to preview that, the 49ers are a good, scary football team. They just are. They've got a good defense. Their weakest position is at quarterback, and he has not looked great, but he hasn't looked bad. The guy does not make mistakes. So, would I've rather seen Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys? Absolutely. But with that, what am I trying to say? With all that to the side, I just don't care that the Cowboys lost. I mean, I've seen a lot of Eagle fans, and it's funny to poke fun at them because all year long, we them boys, we're going to get further than you. I had Cowboy fans at my job say to me, oh man, you guys must be scared to death of those Giants. I can't wait to see you guys lose. I had a guy actually say that, I can't wait to see it. And I said to him, you got your own problems to worry about. They were so confident that they were going to beat the 49ers to go to the NFC Championship game. So yes, it is fun to poke fun at the Dallas Cowboys and at their fans, because once again, they're not in the conference championship game, once again, they're exactly where they were. They blew out a bad Tampa Bay team. Tom Brady looked like he was 65 years old. The defense was not there. And that's kind of where it was with the Giants too. And that's another thing. And I talk about this Giant game. The Giants beat a Minnesota team that the most fraudulent 13-win team. And I know it's hard to win in the NFL. You look at some of their wins, coming back from 38 down to the Indianapolis Colts, winning by field goals against the guys like the Commanders. I know we lost against them. I understand that. Barely beating the Giants the first time. And their pass defense worse in the league. So Daniel Jones has a good game, probably his best game as a pro against the worst pass defense in the league. And now all of a sudden he's being anointed as an elite quarterback. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I never got it. And the Eagles laid the absolute, to steal a line from The Rock, the absolute smackdown on the Giants' ass Saturday night. And they didn't even show everything. I mean, Jalen had what? Did he even have 200 yards passing? I don't know. They ran for about 6,000 yards against this Giants team. The Giants never stood a chance. The first time Jalen Hurts took off, that was it. I mean, the pass to Devontae, everybody goes, man, that was it. That was that first pass play for like 40 yards that took the Giants' heart. No. When they saw Jalen take off with and not giving a shit, not going out of bounds, I think it was near the goal line. I mean, he's throwing 3 guys off of him. That was when they knew. That was when they knew they effed up completely. So what I wanted to do, I got a couple clips. Yes, I have clips. Let's see if they work. New platform I'm working with here. Just some of the things that were said before this game. Again, absolutely mind-numbing. Let's check this out.
If you were to switch the quarterbacks.
And that's not the one I wanted to go to. This one.
Jalen Hurts is the better player. Jalen Hurts is on the better team. What?
I was with you before you said he was a better player. I don't think that he's a more talented
I'm not a horse.
Dimes.
He's a... Bart, don't you start this. Do you know how many times Daniel Jones would be able to say that?
Well, let's keep it real, Ace.
I want to hear Bart's response to this.
RC, Daniel Jones, in my opinion, is a better quarterback from a talent standpoint. I think he's a better pocket passer. We didn't speak of Jalen Hurts in this regard. Until they went out and got A.J. Brown. He has the best of everything. Like, listen, I think it's unfair for us to tell the people from a skill standpoint that Jalen Hurts is a superior quarterback to Daniel Jones. That remains to be seen.
The Philadelphia Eagles haven't played anybody good. The New York Giants right now in the moment are far better than they were when they got blown out a month and a half ago. And obviously they didn't play their starters in week 18. I feel bad for you people in Philly because you're dropping like $1,500 for a ticket and you're going to go home upset. You're a good team that has beaten trash cans all year long, and you cannot argue against that.
You can't do it with stats, but just in overall impact on that franchise and that team this year, he was it to me. Mm-hmm. And now he's not it because he's lost his way a little bit because it sounds like the shoulder is still banged up. So he lost his rhythm. He lost his momentum. Yeah. He lost a little bit of swag. He doesn't look quite the same. They don't look the same because the defense actually got exposed by my Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. 40 points that we scored on them. We got
that last clip, Skip Bayless. I don't remember the guy's name, and the one before that. That was he's a Giant fanboy, obviously on a national media, like a national show. Like, think about what he said. The Eagles had beat nobody but trash cans. They've got the best winning percentage against winning teams in the league. The Giants had won 3 games. They started out 7-2, and they won 3 games since then. They couldn't even win or lose a game against the Commanders. They tied it. And then Skip and Hurts was Skip's boy. He's not the same, so calm and so quiet. He's lost some swag. Jalen Hurts is more swag than anyone in the league. First off, if there's even Hurts haters can say that. And how about Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts? First off, let me finish this. How about Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts and the rest of the team kind of pulling the wool over everybody's eyes? I knew it. I could tell. They don't talk about injuries like this. The Eagles haven't all year, and they just kept, oh, man, he's sore. I don't know. It'll be good enough. It'll be good enough. And they let everybody think that it was worse than it is. And I don't see how you throw that pass at Devontae Smith if your throwing shoulder hurts, or how you run into a group of literal giants and refuse to be tackled if your shoulder hurts. Do I think there was an injury there? Yes. I think it was a 2-week injury. I think they gave him 5 weeks. I think he's been good. I think he was good in that Giants game. They just didn't let him do anything. But Nick Sirianni, man, while I'm on that, like the hate that the media gave this guy, and I'm talking about the local media too. That first press conference, I've talked about this before on this channel. That first press conference, he stumbled through it. He was aloof. He stuttered. I mean, it was a bad first press conference. Same thing that have happened to guys like Doug Peterson and Andy Reid, by the way. And everybody wrote him off. There was a producer at WIP. I still can't believe I listened to this radio station. I wish there was something else to listen to that was easier than me like searching for a podcast. But there was a producer that said, man, this guy's not going to last long here at all, and I'll put money on that. It was something really ignorant like that. After the flower power speech last year, everybody laughed at him. And the Eagles have done nothing but win since then. And this guy's now coaching in the NFC Championship game. He's a guy that's not afraid to show his personality. It's a Philly guy. You saw him do the head bob to the camera. You saw him chest bumping players. They feed off that. These are young guys. This isn't 1985 anymore, where the guys look like where the guys play football and then they go to their construction job afterwards. No, these are young dudes, and this is a different era. And I'd be surprised if other coaches don't take the same approach that Nick Sirianni does. Now, who knows what's going to happen Sunday? But one thing you cannot say that these guys don't absolutely feed off him. And it's got 2017 vibes when it comes to that. Doug Peterson was the same way with the chain in the locker room. Like, he was the exact same way. Cool guy that people knew he wasn't faking it. You see Mike McCarthy after the Cowboys beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Mike McCarthy, they put the big chain on him. He does his dance. You can tell he's faking it. That's not him. With Nick Sirianni, that is him. That is absolutely him. That's him in the locker room after a win. That's him at his house. It's him with his kids. He is him. And I love the fact that he's our head coach right now going into an absolute monster game. But we talk about the hate on Jalen Hurts. Fans are still doing it. Media members are still doing it. Even after the Philadelphia Eagles destroyed Daniel Jones. And look, I don't know what bothered me more. The hate on Hurts as I touch my Home Dogs 2018 t-shirt that I got in a parking lot. I'll tell you the story on that in a minute. I don't know if it was the hate on Hurts or this absolute love that blossomed for Daniel Jones. I work with Giant fans. I work with a couple, and I told them, like, is it good for you guys to get into the playoffs with a quarterback you're not going to have? What do you mean? Daniel Jones, there is no way. If the New York Giants stick with Daniel Jones, it is the best thing for the Philadelphia Eagles and the other teams in the NFC East. Daniel Jones is a good, really good backup quarterback. This dude is not a starting quarterback, man. He's not. He's just look at him. Look at how he looked under pressure against the Philadelphia. There was no confidence in this guy's face. There's no way you can tell me that he's getting in a huddle with these men and getting them to believe. As soon as they saw him like that, it was over. It was over. Daniel Jones, again, I just don't get it. The people saying he was teetering on elite status, he's a better pocket passer. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And I hope that the Giants give him a lot of money to stay in New York, because as long as Daniel Jones is the quarterback of the New York Giants, I don't see them going any further than they did. I just don't. Even if you surround him with great players, I just don't. There's this thing called the eye test. And again, you probably play this back next year as the Giants are going into the NFC Championship game and make me look like an idiot. I don't know. But what I know right now, from what I see right now, and he is, and again, and you can say, well, look at Jalen Hurts. He was terrible last year in certain aspects, and this year, look at him. That's 2 years. Daniel Jones has been in the league. What is it, 5 years now? Like, enough is enough with this Daniel Jones shit. And Chris Sims, who is, I don't care what he says. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're a fan of Chris Sims. There's something internal in his body for his hate for Jalen Hurts. There's something more than just what Jalen does on the field. He said some asinine things. First off, 2 years ago, leaving Jalen off of his top 40 list. Kellen Mond, backup quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, he might be third string, was ranked above Jalen Hurts, never played an NFL game in his life. And Jalen was under him. I'll never forget that. Carson Wentz above Jalen Hurts. I mean, you name it. Baker Mayfield, like all these mediocre quarterbacks. Then this year, I think Jalen was, and again, I don't know the exact number, it was like mid-20s or something. The dude, and then when right before Jalen got hurt, ironically, Chris Sims said you could put Gardner Minshew in and the offense wouldn't miss a beat. Well, we saw how absolutely wrong that was. Then I stumble upon this clip today after the Giants got destroyed and after Daniel Jones looked like a mediocre, not even average quarterback. Here's Chris Sims.
If you were to switch the quarterbacks, would the result be different? Right? And I think it's kind of interesting. You could do that for all the games. I don't know if any of the games would be different, but for this one specifically, like Daniel Jones now is under fire. Giants fans, is he the guy? Is he not the guy? Can we win with him? If he was playing for the Eagles and if Jalen Hurts was playing for the Giants, I mean, how much did the Eagles win by? 20
right.
still?
Well, yeah,
30?
I don't think
might be closer.
I don't think it's a whole lot different because Daniel Jones is going to be able to do the same thing. I mean, he can do some of the things that Jalen Hurts. Yeah, maybe not as good a runner, but we know he's really close. It's not like, oh, whoa, way better. Again, if you're going to ask me who I'd rather have as a passer, I'd rather have Daniel Jones. I'm sorry about that. I don't know. You're going to get me in trouble today.
And this is not, but I'm just saying, it's just to speak more to the quality of the teams, right?
That's
and stating the obvious
for real.
Here, right?
What we're trying to say is, what the hell are you talking?
I wish I knew what he said after that. That was the end of that clip. But you got to be. How do these guys have jobs? I get it. Chris Sims, because of his dad. Chris Sims played in the NFL, I guess, right? Third string quarterback. He would rather have Daniel Jones, and he's still, it's the quality of the teams. When Jalen Hurts went away from the Eagles offense, it was completely different. It just was. Now, Gardner Minshew had a decent game against the Dallas Cowboys. Again, they turned the ball over 4 times. It's just, I don't understand. Make it make sense to me. Please, somebody, you're watching this after the fact. Make it make sense to me because I don't get it. I don't get it. And this is the comment from Russ earlier. And he says it perfectly right there. The disrespect for not only Hurts, but the team as well is disgraceful because it is. Daniel Jones and the New York Giants, 9-7-1. I'll give them 9-6-1 because the last game they didn't play their starters. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? It's not like they were playing the 49ers. It's not like they were playing the Cowboys even or even the Vikings, the New York Football Giants, man. Give me a break. And all these fans, Giant fans and content creators, and listen, I've said this before and I'll say it again. My mom's side of the family, all Giant fans, live up in Jersey, all Giant fans. The fact that these people actually really, really believed that this team was going to come into Philly. It wasn't in New Jersey. That they were going to come into Philly and beat this Eagles team, even if Jalen wasn't Jalen. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. Daniel Jones was going to throw passes to Hodgins, who all of a sudden was Isaiah Hodgins' first name. The guys acted like he was Terrell Owens. And Darius Slayton over Slay and Bradbury. It's nuts to me. Or a team, the Eagles, over 70 sacks. I think they're at 75 right now. But like he was going to win that game. No, you don't have the playmakers. Now again, and I don't want to preview the game right now. We look at San Francisco. The one thing with San Francisco, they got playmakers. Brock Purdy only has to be at good or average because you got Christian McCaffrey, could be best running back in the league. Dual threat, catches the ball well, runs the ball well. You got George Kittle, fearless. You put him right up there with Kelsey, and definitely with Goddard. Obviously, I think they're kind of like the same player. there. You got Debo Samuel, who can run the ball, who can catch the ball. They use him as a running back sometimes. Elijah Mitchell, backup running back, not bad. Brandon Ayuk, very good wide receiver. I mean, they have this is the type of team that you would have thought last week the Giants were. That just and to see guys like Chris Collinsworth and Skip Bayless and guys today, not even backtrack, but act like now all of a sudden they're back on the bandwagon with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's sickening. At least the Good Morning Football guys, who they were like, I wish I had the clip. I know this video will probably get disabled to be monetized if I did, and it still might with the other clips I showed. I wish I had the clip of them saying, "Look, guys, we're sorry." Like they showed a montage of everything they said last week. The New York Giants, get ready for the Super Bowl. Like, and they said, we got mixed in with this Giants hype that the media was just dead set on putting that narrative, and it was crazy to me. It lit a fire under the Eagles. They look like they did in the beginning of the season. This weekend is going to be such a huge game. The last time the Eagles, and I said I was going to bring up the story of this T-shirt. The last time, and it's funny because with Monday Night Raw being in Philadelphia as we speak, and Howie Roseman actually being in attendance, it was in 2017. The Eagles were about to go into the championship game against the Minnesota Vikings. I was with WWE for Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown was taped on a Tuesday. It wasn't live then. And Raw was, of course, the Monday. I'm leaving Monday Night Raw in Philly at the Wachovia Center. And again, this is right before the next weekend they're going to play the Vikings, just like they're going to play the Niners this weekend. And as I'm leaving, the police for the talent, they kind of make a pathway for us to go through. The fans are beating on your car and they don't know who's inside or whatever. And I roll down my window. I see guys. Don't know why I disappeared for a second, but anyway, I see the guy. I said, "How much for the shirt?" He says $20. He says, "I got 5." He gives me a look. I'm like, "Come on, go Birds." He's like, "Go Birds." Throws me the shirt. Doesn't ask for any money. And then, of course, the Eagles beat the Vikings the next week. I think I was with NXT in Atlanta right before the Super Bowl. It was just an amazing atmosphere, the kind of atmosphere. I know Hulk Hogan already mentioned the Eagles tonight, and it was just the kind of atmosphere that you live for, man, as a football fan. And look, anybody wants to contribute to my my NFC Championship ticket fund, please, Chris Wild Wrestling, Cash App, $ Chris Wild Wrestling. Because them tickets, man, them tickets are without a doubt. They said this is the most expensive championship game of all time. I think I saw somebody selling a ticket for $2,400. Ticketmaster doesn't put them on sale till tomorrow, so I guess it's just season ticket holders. And I'm gonna, I would love to get there and be with the 4th and John tailgate. Those tailgates are unlike anything else. I'm going to, as we speak, for the hell of it, because I don't know, maybe some rich dude will watch this. The Chris Ticket Fund, Cash App, $ Chris Wild Wrestling. Why not? Maybe somebody that's very wealthy is going to come across this stream and agrees with everything I say and really wants to get this kid from Delaware over to Philadelphia. I tried every ticket giveaway I could last week. Because I felt really strongly about the win against the Giants. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say too much right now. I don't have a bad feeling. Am I absolutely as confident as I was last week? Of course not. I mean, this is not the New York Giants and Daniel Jones. This is a very, very, very well coached team of Kyle Shanahan, DeMeco Ryans, and the San Francisco 49ers, who got to have a bad taste in their mouth because last year, they were this close from the Super Bowl. So that's definitely going to be something that's stuck in their craw, but they're coming to Philly Sunday against a team that just does not know how to quit, no matter how much they're doubted. That's what this Eagles team does, guys. I'm about to get out of here as we reach the 10 o'clock mark. It's been really awesome doing this again. I missed it. I missed being able to just, it does a lot for my mental health, being able to just kind of purge a lot of these feelings. And hopefully, I can do the same thing next week. And I will be absolutely off the hook next week if it goes how I want it to go. Yeah, everybody got one last hour Monday Night Raw. Go ahead, watch that. Like I said, I don't like the commercials, so I DVR it and watch it later. They are in Philadelphia right now. Crowd looks like it's just amazing. It's just such a good atmosphere. Philadelphia is such a great sports city. I don't care what anybody says. And that being said, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, go Birds, and I'll see you later.